following program contains language and subject matter that you may consider unsuitable for children. Parental discretion is advised.
Greetings, Earthling. His Highness the Jackals.
I'm going to pass the reins to Mr. Jackal, the new king of radio.
I think Jackal's Rubino, I'm not sure, but he'll give it to you good.
The Jackal.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Inside the Jackal's Head. I am Angel Espino, of course, the show host with the most, and I say that only because right now I'm trying to boast in front of somebody that I've been a fan of for a very long time, and who, of course, we run here on the network, and we run his show, and it's an amazing show. I'm talking about Gerald, of course. No, I'm kidding.
What?
I'm kidding.
That sounds good to me.
No, the man himself, Spud Goodman, is live with me, and he's drinking his best pink drink. I love that.
It's Pepto, man. How you doing, Angel?
Pepto. Spud, I'm telling you, man, your show is an inspiration to people like myself, and I'm talking about people of Latin color, and all people alike. Even though you're my Caucasian brother, I will say I love what you do. I love your show. It's a fascinating show. And for the audience who might be ignorant, let me tell you, if you have not listened to Spud Goodman, well, then you might want to seek a lobotomy. There's something wrong with you.
I like that.
Gerald? I'm telling you, I've been listening to you for years, man.
I like the way Angel thinks, Spud.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, dude, I can barely hear you. Can you speak up? Don't mumble.
I'm trying to speak up. I'm using the microphone from the studio days, and it doesn't seem to be working very well.
Well, just speak up. That's all I can say. Just don't mumble. So Angel, what's life like in Miami? I have to say, I've only been there once. But it was a pretty damn exciting experience there. It's lively. It's very lively.
It is. Miami is actually great, especially during the winter. And I know a lot of my friends in North America hate to hear that. But it is a lovely, beautiful place during the winter. But let me ask you, is this the reason why you haven't made Gerald your full-time co-host on the show? Because of situations like this? Because I love Gerald, and I think he should be the full-time co-host. I don't know
my position in very shortly in this.
Is that it right there?
Can I say something?
No, let me just say for the record, this man still has AOL as his server. Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. It's Gerald Holcomb at AOL.com. But anyway, all right.
That was patriotic.
Yeah. No, it was not.
Yeah, 25 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, it's America Online.
But let me ask you, Gerald, are you still using MySpace also?
Well, I kept my MySpace account as long as I could. But eventually they shut it off for me. I didn't cancel it. They just MySpace canceled, I guess.
Yeah. Be honest, the page is still up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I can't access it anymore.
Oh, I have. It's an embarrassment to the show. I would greatly appreciate if you get your little niece or nephew to take it down. But anyway, all right. So yeah, are you good to go now, Gerald?
Yeah, I think so. I've tried to adjust my microphone level up. Is it any better, guys?
It's not bad. I will live with it.
I don't have very good equipment, Spud. And I've asked you many times to ask our executive producer, Lori, if she could requisition me some better equipment.
I doubt that. I doubt that's going to happen. Just make the best of it. I mean, I'm pretty much set, but we have to make decisions and priorities and funding with resources. That's just, what can I say? So anyway, Angel, getting back to, anything else that you want to, cover?
Well, speaking of Florida, where you're out of right now? You're in California, or
we are in Seattle, Washington, the Seattle area.
Washington, and how are you doing with the current events over there? I mean, the sporting team is not doing too well. You guys
baseball,
having Yeah, I mean, you guys are not doing very well in sports at the moment.
No, well,
Sadly.
wait a second though. Our soccer team, Sounders, 4L last 5 ML. I mean, they've been in the playoffs every single year in existence. They're right at this point. I mean, I don't know if you caught the opening weekend, but they kicked butt, beat Minnesota before 4-0, I should say. The Seahawks, we're not exactly have-nots in the NFL, but you're referring to the Mariners, right? That's what you're trying to say? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
the
you got
Mariners,
me.
No,
You got me.
they're just not good. I mean, what's going on with sports in Seattle? And is this why there's been so many outbursts with riots and stuff? I mean, what's been going on?
Okay.
Is that mad?
I'm really glad getting your news from Fox. And I will tell you this, our city has not been on fire. There was a 6-block area, first called Chaz, then Chad, or other way around. That 6-block area, everybody else in Seattle that lived outside that area had really no idea, unless they flipped on Fox, that their city was, in flames. I'm serious. It was a little overblown, but hey, the sweeps were going. I don't know if sweeps were going on that period or not, but whatever.
Yeah,
here's a question.
But I've got to disagree with you there because I was watching Fox and I felt that they encapsulated it correctly, what was happening. And I told you I was afraid to go up. I haven't been to Seattle in a year. I'm afraid to go up there.
I know this, but trust me, it's not on fire.
Well, I think the most important question here that we're all missing, guys, is why did they choose to call this place Chaz after Chaz Bono?
It wasn't on Chaz Bono, but that would have been a much smarter idea because those guys were fools that did that. I mean, I do, believe me, most of us up here don't understand some of the goofiness that happens. But all I want to really set the record straight. Seattle was never out of control on fire, but it did have issues. I mean, it did. There were some knuckleheads that caused some problems. But contrary to what Fox was presenting, I guess Jason Rantz was on every single day. He's from a conservative radio AM station, FM station up here. He's
very good.
Yeah, I know you love him. So I'll give him. Yeah, I'm just saying.
I don't know. Chaz Bono, Angel. Who is that?
No, of course you don't. Tell him, Angel.
Right?
Tell him.
You know who Cher is, right?
Cher, she is the singer. And
correct.
She
yes.
had, yes, I
remember she used to have a daughter, Chastity.
Chastity. Okay. I think I've heard of Chastity. Yeah.
Well, in today's world, science has been, changing, and now it appears that a man and a woman could flip sexes. I never knew that. And Chastity now looks more like you than she did before when she was a woman.
Okay. I got it, and I think that's why I don't know this person. So
yeah.
Okay, I got it. I got it.
Now that actually, now that I look at you and I look at her, I'm wondering why we haven't seen you two in the same place at the same time before.
Listen, that's purely coincidence, I assure you.
I've talked to him about keeping his options always open. I believe in never shutting a door. So, but no, you got the wrong. That's not accurate. But I'll just put that one to rest.
Well,
thank you, Spud.
Well, there you go. We could put that one in the archive and make sure that nobody follows up with that. And it's just a dead rumor at this point that you're actually not Chaz Bono.
I can go on the record on your show, Angel, and say I am not.
Okay.
Perfect.
Moving on.
We'll take that. And now something that I noticed on your last podcast that you did, Spud, and it was a brilliant idea. And I might actually do this myself because I heard this and I was like, my God, this is why Spud gets the big bucks. And I'm still like a decade later, I'm here like broke as it could be because this man is on the money. This is so brilliant. Why didn't I think about this? But of course, you didn't think about it yourself. Somebody else did, and you ran with it, which is even smarter. I mean, Mark Zuckerberg didn't create Facebook. Somebody else did. He just took it and ran with it.
Right.
And I think what you did on your show is brilliant, and I'm talking about the writing your own obituary.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I got that idea from Mo Rocca, who we had on. He's on CBS Sunday mornings, and he has a PBS show, and he wrote his book Mobituaries, and he took various obituaries that piqued his interest and just kind of went with it and wrote a book. It was a fascinating book, and so it got me to thinking. So I mean, it's kind of your final act, and it's something that should have a lot of thought put into it. And what happens when most people die? They just, whatever family member's handy knocks it out in 15, 20 minutes, and it either gets a little blurb in the paper or whatever. I mean, not a lot of thought. So why not pre-plan this thing and spend some years staging this thing and multiple drafts and do it yourself? First of all, I mean, Angel, would you trust a family member to write your final words? I mean, your description of your life?
Are you kidding me? I don't trust my family to even put me out if I'm on fire.
Exactly. I mean, yeah. And Gerald, I know your wife is, going to handle yours when your time comes, because you trust your wife implicitly. Yes.
My wife.
How do you feel about that, Gerald? Are you okay with that? I mean, that's tough.
I am okay.
She might bring up some skeletons in the closet.
No. I trust her completely. But I was kind of opposed, Angel, to the idea of Spud writing his eulogy now, or his obituary now, because there's still some things that can happen in his life. And what if he misses out on some important thing that now won't be included?
What about the scandal stuff? If anything, I mean, just garbage stuff that's probably going to go down, because if you live a full life, things happen. I mean, write it now, and hopefully everybody I print it now, or actually save it on Word, and then somebody pulls it up for me when I'm gone. But why do I want to acknowledge stuff that happens later that's probably going to be bad? So negative and make me look horrendous to the public? Why? Why would I want that? So right now.
Yeah, and you'd always add filler here.
You know what I'm saying?
No. Not only that, you could add a line, on the obituary saying, for anybody who wants to add, something I missed.
No, that's the thing. If you open it up to comments, you are. I won't use the F word, but yeah, you just don't want to open it up. If you open it up, it's like Wikipedia page. Everybody can update it, and from their perspective, do you really want that? Do you really want people to take pot shots at you forever?
That's a good point. It's kind of like opening Pandora's box, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. That would not be a good idea for Spud.
No. Yeah. Well, for a lot of people, not just Spud. Can you imagine oh man, someone like Harvey Weinstein? Imagine if somebody imagine when they write his obituary. Yeah,
I mean, I know it sounds like one is a control freak that wants maybe go this route and write their own obituary, but I think later. I can't see how people would challenge it, but my co-host here continues to criticize it, and has made his position clear. So anyway, different strokes for different people. I guess.
I love the idea. I'm thinking about doing it myself, and I'm going to do a very a novel and book, way. I'm not doing it just like a cheap obituary. I'm going to start off with it was a dark and stormy night. Oh. The hospital was under siege. And it was the worst case scenario. He stopped breathing.
That's an excellent start.
Here's a big point to it, and I don't know if you thought about this, but this is what makes me feel pretty good about it. There are no fact checkers with obituaries. Remember that.
That's very true. Very true.
Yeah.
That's a good point. See, another good. This is why again, big bucks. Broke bucks. I get nothing. Now, you've been on the radio for a long time also, Spud. I mean, you're going on, a decade at least, 20 years? How long have you been on radio?
Well, I started in cable TV. That's where my background is in television. And then switched over to radio about 8 years ago. That's kind of the deal. I retired for a while, did some other stuff, and then decided, what the hell, and very much enjoy radio. And if you take away the pictures, the major benefit of radio is, you can just look whatever way you want to look. But with pictures like we have now, you actually got to take a shower or something. But I like radio because, they don't have to see you. I like it.
You look good on the radio, Spud.
There you go. All right.
You know, I've often gotten that also that I have a face for radio and a voice for for customer service.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know what that means, but I think it's like a double diss, maybe. What do you think?
It could be, but don't think about it too much.
Yeah, I try not. Well, I try not. There's a couple things I try not to do, Spud. Thinking is one of them, and thinking too much is the other one that I try not
Right.
to do. It's too much. But again, moving on from the obituary stuff because that's kind of morbid. But I do love the idea. I will say.
Yeah, we were talking to Joe Coy about it, and he was on the show. We were discussing it, and he definitely did not like the idea at all. He thought it was extremely morbid, and he wanted nothing to do with it. I mean, I respect that, but anyway, we can move on.
He's a comedian, Spud. He's supposed to be making people laugh.
Yeah, but as he said, he has this, he doesn't want to be thinking about that. I mean, he's just a lot of people are like that. They don't want to think about their final days. I just try to get ahead of the curve. That's really what I'm talking about.
Well, if I were going where you're going to be going, I wouldn't want to think about it either.
Well, there may be that too, but with the way things are today, I know the final days might be tomorrow, so you got to start thinking about it now. Yep. We're in scary times, and I'm not just talking about the WNBA wanting to play with the NBA. That's scary in itself, but we're in scary times all the way around. Now, you've been doing the show for 80 years on radio. You did TV. Who's your favorite guest you've had on so far? Because you have a lot of celebrities that are on your show.
Well, mostly when I've been asked that question a lot, and it really, I don't know if it's for all talk show hosts, but for me, it's more like the connection rather than the person's body of work. And everybody, that's done this kind of stuff has established a connection with certain people. For me, the kind of two, people that I would come to talk towards the top of my list. One would be Ed Asner. I love Ed Asner a lot as he's just a special person. And JB Smoove would be another one of my all-time favorite guests. I don't know, something about him. I click with them, and just in terms of doing my job when I interview them, it's just so much fun. So those two would be towards the top of my list. I've done a lot of people over the years because I'm old and I've been around a long time, and I've done people that people would maybe say, well, what about that person? But from interviewing people, there are many that you will do a 5, 10, 15-minute interview, and it really, there's no connection whatsoever.
Tough. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah.
So, and just others, it just works. You just love the person, and it works. I don't know.
Well, here's the follow-up to that. Who's your least favorite interview? Because I have, I have a favorite and least favorite also from doing this for a decade. So, who's your least favorite?
Well, there's a couple. One would be Newt Gingrich. He might be one.
Yes, I see that. I can see that being a.
Probably the other would be Suzanne. Suzanne Summers would probably be my other one. Not that she's a horrible person or anything, but she just, took control of the interview, and I never got to, I don't know. It seemed like an infomercial, so I wasn't real happy with that one. But I don't know. How about you? Who are your favorite and least favorite?
Well, I would say my favorite interview that I've had on, besides this right now. I mean, this is legendary. Spud and Gerald on my show, you guys are the inspirations. But if I had to choose somebody else that is not on the call tonight, somebody completely different, I would say I had Travis Walton on my show years ago, and I don't know if you're familiar with Travis. Are you guys familiar at all with him?
No, give me some background.
Okay, in 1975, which is a couple years before I was born. So, 1975 in Arizona, there was a crew of loggers who were out logging for wood, and which is often what loggers do, I think. And they were out there logging, chopping away, and from across the field, they noticed what looked like a giant fire in the sky. And so they drove the truck over to this what looked like a fire, thinking maybe it was an airplane that crashed or something. They did see there were survivors. And when they got up close, it was a UFO. And it was hovering in the middle of the woods. Travis got out of the truck to get a closer view. When he approached close enough to the object, something hit him like a beam of energy and knocked him out cold. Travis spent the next 5 days disappeared. the people on the truck, as you can imagine, seeing that happen, took off and immediately went to the nearest town and called for law enforcement to come on, and the FBI were involved. There was a 4-day manhunt in Arizona looking for Travis. This became a legendary case in ufology. In fact, they made the movie called Fire in the Sky based on this one event, which was based on his book, The Travis Walton Experience, which is the most famous case of alien abduction in the entire world. And it had FBI agents involved. They had, media. Again, there was a national manhunt. They've taken over a dozen lie detector tests. The people involved in the truck, the crew members, all took lie detector tests. They all passed over a dozen lie detector tests. Travis, when he was returned, which was 5 days later, at first didn't remember much, but over time, memories started coming back. And he took lie detector tests, and he's passed every single one of them also, and over a dozen up to now. So it's a very iconic and legendary case because there's like no holes in the case. His story has never changed. It's been consistent for over 40 years. And I know him and Mike Rogers, who was the guy driving the truck. I know him also very well. They're good friends of mine, and I've had them both on the show. In fact, Mike Rogers was played in the movie by Robert Patrick, who played the bad Terminator.
Oh yeah,
in Terminator 2.
Yeah,
and he also played John Doggett in the X-Files. So very famous actor, played him in the movie. The movie kind of fibbed a little bit of the alien stuff because Hollywood spices everything up. You know how Hollywood is. But the book is amazing. When you read the book and you actually understand what happened to him, it's an incredible story. So that would probably be like my favorite guest that I've had on because of the historical aspect, and considering that now we're getting all this UFO stuff in the public with the Pentagon, and they're admitting that these things are real. When are
they going to release that? When are they going to release the final stuff? Because that's still pending, right? And I'm into that stuff. I got to say I am. And I know Gerald feels that there's a lot of demonic influences, and he tends to poo-poo it, and I don't want to speak for you, but you do have your issues with this, correct?
Well, yeah. The problem I have is there's no mention of anything like this in the good book. And there, I've never heard my pastor talk about any of it. I've never heard.
There is.
What?
Tell me.
Have you ever heard of Ezekiel's wheel in the sky? What do you think that is?
Well, I have heard of it. And
have you heard of the Nephilim?
I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Have you ever heard of the Nephilim?
No.
Okay, they're in the good book. They're in the Bible. The Nephilim were the giants of antiquity who were the gods' kids. Basically, these are the kids of the gods that seeded earth. In the Bible, they're called fallen angels, the Nephilim. These fallen angels seeded with the humans on earth, which is kind of strange, and they created a race of humans. Now, here's the best part about this, Gerald. You know the Bible. You're a religious person.
Yes, I do.
You know the story of Adam and Eve, I'm sure, right?
Of course.
God created them, Adam and Eve, first man and woman. The whole thing. She ate the apple of tree of knowledge. Screwed everybody, as women normally do. But here's the kicker. They had 2 kids, right? Cain and Abel.
Yes, that's right.
And you know the story. Cain got pissed because Abel was watching this porn. I don't know what it was, and he decided, you know what, I'm going to kill my brother because that's the
first murder. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I think this is the first black on black crime because, as we know, all people are black from antiquity. There's no white in history. Jesus was black now, as we now know. So Cain kills Abel, and
I saw on Fox News. I don't know, Angel. I'm just going to jump in here. That the
I think
they're pretty much going with white. I just wanted to say that. Okay, continue though.
Well, okay. Well, we could debate Jesus' color later, but
I believe you. I'm just saying. No, I know he was not. I know that for a fact. I'm just saying that.
All I'm saying,
Fox News tends to think he's a little white.
Skin like bronze, hair like wool. That sounds like a brother from the ghetto. Like I'm not saying.
No. Yes.
Now, Cain kills Abel, and God says, "Okay, while I promised I was going to kick your folks out of the Garden of Eden. I really didn't do that. But now you've done pissed God off. So now, Cain, I'm kicking you out of the Garden of Eden for real this time. Because God changed his mind, apparently. I don't know. Somewhere through there, he just, had a brain fart. And he kicks Cain out of the Garden of Eden for real this time. And then somehow, after a journey, this journey around the land that is Earth, Cain finds a village full of people where he marries and has kids of his own. Now, here's the question. I'm going to put this as, and Gerald, I want you to answer this because this is a very important question. And I'm going to give it to you, and we'll give it to you in a very Seinfeld kind of way. Who are these people?
Okay. This is a fair question, and my understanding, Angel, is I've been taught that God made other people, including other people of the female persuasion, that then Cain would have started a family with. But
here's the question,
they're not talked about in the Bible.
But here's the question, though. If Adam and Eve were the first, that mean? Doesn't the first mean like the first? I mean, there's nothing else before, right? So,
they were the first, yes, for sure. The Bible's very specific about that.
Okay, so if they were the first, and they had Cain and Abel,
yes,
and Cain, when he was a young teen, kills his brother, okay, because that's the way it happened. How was he able to go to a village with kids who were old enough to be, his age, who had parents who were older than Adam and Eve?
Okay, you guys are losing me here. So
well,
it's getting a little.
Yeah. Angel,
Google this. Can I Google the Bible right now while you guys are talking? Hang on.
Spud, I think that'd be a great idea if you would do that. I've been asking you for years to read the Bible. And by the way, my invitation stands. You can join us for church this Sunday. We're back with live in-person services, so you are invited once again.
Yeah.
I'd love to go to church also, but I got kicked out when I started asking questions.
Yeah, you don't ask questions. That's one of the things I learned. You just don't.
Yeah.
But look, can we get off the topic of religion, please? Just it's just not.
Sorry,
I'm not anti-religion so much. I'm anti-organized religion. I am. So let's just move on. Okay.
Let's move on to this because I know you also have a resident psychic, and
yes, I do.
That's also something that we deal with a lot on the show here. I'm a big proponent of psychic abilities. How much do you follow the whole psychic ability thing? Do you believe in psychics?
Well, I don't not believe, because why close the door? Our psychic, resident psychic, is Mr. Ted Marr. He travels the world, actually. We're very fortunate to have him. Gerald, obviously I can't speak for you. I'll let you, you can cover this, but I know you have extreme problems with what he has to say. You do feel that it's not according to the Bible, and
it isn't.
Your teachings.
And I think Ted Marr is a very nice gentleman, and I appreciate him being part of the Spud Goodman Show, and he has mentioned a lot of things that I frankly think are straight from the devil.
It's possible. It is possible. Have you guys not thought about maybe asking them for the lottery numbers? Because I know they can't give it to themselves.
We covered
maybe
that.
They can hook you guys up.
No, we definitely. I was one of the second or third questions on the way he first came on the show. I hit him up on that angle. He's not even been successful in his own life trying to, work that angle. Just hit the, anyway. No. The answer is no.
I love when you ask a psychic, well, why can't you win the lottery? It's like, well, we can't benefit out of our own abilities. But wait a second, you sell, your readings, you're benefiting there.
Yeah. This Ted has told us that he actually he does a lot of free work. He doesn't. I don't think he he hasn't laid out the fact that I don't use this for like gambling purposes. He doesn't try the moral angle. He just said, it's not something he's been successful with. So he's very honest with us. He's a good man.
Yeah.
By the way, Angel, when Spud first asked Ted to give him some lottery numbers, Ted said, "I knew you were going to ask me that."
Yeah.
He's psychic, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm sure he also knew that attaching himself to the Spud Goodman Show was probably the bestest idea ever.
I hope so. I hope we haven't killed his whatever business or whatever. But yeah, he's still with us, so maybe not. Hey, last I heard, he was in Switzerland at some symposium or something. But anyway.
Oh yeah.
I heard about that. But I'm telling you, you have brought him at least 20 to 30 extra clients.
Well,
at least.
Thank you for that, even if it's not true. Appreciate that. I feel put some pep in my step. All right.
There you go. Speaking of pep, I know you're a big proponent of Pepto-Bismol, the best pink drink on the planet.
Nectar of the gods. Nectar of the gods.
Right here. That's blood in my veins. I drink a lot of that also.
That's right.
Now, my question to you, though, because I know your history again on TV, radio, you've done a lot of interviews. How much Pepto do you have to drink when you're interviewing somebody like, say, Louis Anderson?
Oh yeah, we've had Louis on a bunch, and nuts. I haven't. Well, getting back to what I said before, during the Suzanne Summers one, I went through a bottle and a half because I got in. This is, and thank you very much. That's pretty much it. So I went through a bottle and a half on that one. On the give and take interviews with people, that were kind of clicking. I don't get that many swigs in. I usually have to do that on my private time, and on if there's any breaks in the show and music and stuff, I'll get some big swigs in. Anyway.
I think Spud drinks way too much Pepto-Bismol, Angel, and depending on how much you drink, I'm going to say to you the same thing I've said to Spud. This is masking a bigger problem. Pepto-Bismol is not designed to be consumed daily.
Really? If you could have seen the results from my last colonoscopy, you would be so freaking jealous. Let me just say that.
Okay.
Well, I don't want to know I don't even want to see the pictures on that.
They were pristine, okay?
Well, I'll take your word for that, my friend.
That's right.
Now, follow up to that question in chat here. They're asking me, ask him about Michael Moore and how much does he need Pepto-Bismol when interviewing Michael Moore?
Well, we had Michael on our television show, but I will say this. I had my late father handle that interview. I think I had something to do, and I sent my father to do it. And he really hit it off with Michael Moore. Really, very much. I mean, he was my dad. They did just bonded. I think it's on our website, that interview. And if not, it should be, because it's a really good interview. I've never spoke to the man. So, yeah.
Okay, well, there you go. The question in the chat has been answered. Never actually spoken to Michael Moore, which actually might be a blessing in disguise. There's a little resemblance with Michael Moore and Louis Anderson also. They've never been seen together either. Wonder why.
Love Louis.
Yeah, Louis is a cool guy. I won't lie. He's actually a pretty funny comedian also. And have you seen him in Coming to America 2 yet?
I've not seen the movie. I'm a fan of his stand-up work, and I was a huge fan of Baskets. I mean, I freaking love that show. So, yeah, I mean, he got an Emmy. So, yeah.
There you go. And by the way, I'm also getting a question here. They want to know, how is Aunt Dorothy? And to let her know that she has the best laugh on all radio.
Well, Gerald, you want to speak for you handle that? Yeah. Take it, Gerald.
Spud's Aunt Dorothy is a sweetheart of a woman, and she is, as she'll remind you, she is a volunteer laugher. Now, Spud is sometimes, in my opinion, a little bit critical. Sometimes when she gives a guffaw and he wanted to chortle, they're at odds a little bit. But
she just needs to step up.
Well, I agree. But she will point out to him it's the best he's going to get for no money.
Well,
that's true.
She's family, okay?
Well, yeah, but Spud, the top-notch laughers, they command a lot of dough.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and that's why we don't have them.
Yeah. I mean, you can't kick a couple bucks down her way. I mean, she has a great laugh.
She does.
Angel, I don't know if you know about this. You start, paying people appropriately, like a prevailing wage, and pretty soon they expect benefits and like a sick day off from now and then. It just open up. You don't want to go down that road. Let's put it that way.
Right. No. Another one to give $15 like minimum wage. So you got to at least pay the minimum wage. I mean, come on, what kind of stuff is that?
No. Hey, I'm a big proponent of the minimum wage of $50 an hour. But do I want to pay it myself? Because it's not it's the radio station. So what am I saying? I mean, I told them they should pay her $50 an hour, but at this point they said that would have to come out of my salary. So you have to make decisions in life, right?
Yeah. I think it's too much. I've been the number 2 salesman at South Seattle Carpet and Linoleum for 7 years running, and I still don't make $15 an hour.
Oh boy! All right. Yeah, the guy sells linoleum on the side. I mean, it's a legit gig. I'm not going to knock it. I mean, you got to pay the bills.
It's not on the side. It's my main job because, Angel, to your point, I can't get a livable wage working for Spud Goodman.
Don't blame me. Well, is it my fault that I'm not hired? I'm not marketable. I'm not, I mean, come on, don't blame me.
No.
Blame the marketplace.
Nobody's going to blame you. This is a network issue, and I face this myself on the network here on PSN Radio. And I understand what they're going through, and I understand what Spud means when he says that, listen, he has to make a living, guys. He has to provide for himself, And
he's the only one making a living.
Well, you have a job though, so then other things, and
I have to have 2 jobs. Yeah,
and as you should have 2 jobs. But it costs a lot to keep my pets at Chewy.com. All my subscription, the stuff that gets shipped to me, it's expensive. So anyway, all right.
And you got to buy stuff on Amazon and all these other places, and Wish, and every time you buy something, you got to spend money, man. And money needs to be spent. Spud needs to take care of himself. That's why he's one of the best doing it. Whether he gets the ratings or not.
Shipping's what gets you.
And Gerald, if finances are tight, you really might want to sit down with your wife, and you might want to think about taking a 3rd job because it's all about the hustle. So I mean, if you're not making your ends meet, then you really need to take some action.
I'm full time at South Seattle Carpet and Linoleum. Then I'm the temporary permanent co-host.
Temporary permanent.
What does that even mean?
Temporary permanent.
As far as I'm concerned, my friend, you should be the full-time co-host. But I'm not. Look, I'm not running the show. I'm just I'm just a fan.
I'm sharing this with Lori Spud.
Then Angel, may I ask you this? Where his motivation come from at that point? You got to think about you got to play the long game. That's all I'm saying.
Good point. So, that's a good point. No, that's it. Gerald, he makes an excellent point.
Well, yeah, but think of how much more I could contribute to the show and your ideas if I wasn't also at South Seattle Carpet and Linoleum 40 hours.
I don't think you need to give them any more free plugs. And Angel, let me ask you this. Speaking of co-hosts, I mean, I've been on the record for years that co-hosts are an appendage that is no longer necessary. And I see in your studio, I don't see a co-host around you right now, and you're more than able to survive and flourish. So what is your position on having a co-host, a sidekick?
I have you can't see him here because he's behind the other side of the wall here, and it's a producer, Petey, who we don't allow in public just because he's kind of a goofy-looking dude. And I've had co-hosts before, and I'll tell you what, one thing I love about co-hosts is when I need to cough, I can mute myself, and they can talk for a second. But the problem is they all eventually want to get paid. And again, like you said, then you got to start paying them. And, now I understand exactly what you mean, Spud, because, a lot of this, the money comes out of my own pocket. I'm the owner of the network.
Why do you think corporate America keeps everybody on temporary? I mean, I didn't come up with this idea. Don't blame me.
Well,
it's the American way.
Well, you could put in a word for me, Spud. It's your show.
There's only.
I'm telling you what, Gerald, I was on your side in the beginning, but I'm starting to see more Spud side on this one. Yeah.
The pot is only so big to draw
Angel,
from.
I thought you
Okay.
were going to be able to help me.
Well, yeah. He just look around in the studio, and I think we can end this topic because he has no co-host. Because why? He's a very smart man. Okay. Okay. Enough said.
Yes.
I do want to say one thing about his studio, if I may, Angel. I noticed you have a picture of the great Bruce Lee right over your computer monitor, and he's a Seattle guy. That's greetings from the Pacific Northwest. Every time you look at Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee was an inspiration of mine growing up. Actually, I took martial arts. I know I don't look it, but I took martial arts for 11 years until I got poked in one of my eyes. And my mom was like, okay, no more fighting in karate for you. And I was like, but Mom, I really like karate. I want to be like Bruce Lee. And she goes, no, he's an actor. You're not.
Yeah, he was an actor, but he was so much more than that, don't you think? I mean, he was the real deal. Yeah.
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean, Jeet Kune Do, the 1 inch punch. I mean, come on. If you don't know, like, how legendary Bruce Lee is, you've been living under a rock. And again, you might want to seek therapy and follow that up with a possible lobotomy.
That 30 for anyway, never mind. The ESPN 30 for 30 thing that on him was amazing. But anyway.
Yeah.
Spud, did you ever interview Bruce Lee?
No, I sure wish I could have, but no, that would not. Did not happen in my career, my lifetime.
I mean, you might have been able to interview maybe Brandon Lee before he passed away. I mean, that was a little closer to the beginning of your experience on TV. What do you thought of like Brandon's quick career? I mean, I miss Brandon Lee. His The Crow movie was awesome.
Yeah, it was a tragic death. Yes.
Yeah. He could have been a contender.
Yeah.
Good short. The audience was just like, man, he just took it down a really dark path there.
Yeah, it was a pretty dark death. Yeah.
Let's see. Another question here coming in from chat room. Let's see. Do you collect any props? The one of you collect props from any like big famous interviews you've done before? Like, have you been given props for like interviewing actors or anything like that?
Well, I remember. That's a really good question, but I kind of always been working from the area. I've never asked for an autograph ever. When I did my TV show I never did because I had to. I asked everybody else not to do that also. So no, I never really got into the memorabilia thing with guests. I always, when you're kind of a underdog working in a legit business with people that, we were always kind of the, I don't know what word you would like to use, but we were outside the system. And, I tried to play it where we didn't try to take advantage of the generosity of, we got some guests that I was surprised we got, and I just didn't want to push the envelope any more than doing my whatever I do with them. I didn't, I think it's always enough to get out alive and not have any major issues. So no, I've never asked for an autograph ever in my career, actually.
Spud, you did have several guests take a swig of Pepto-Bismol, though.
Yes, yeah. They've asked for some stuff. Yeah. I remember James Edward almost took a massive swig on camera, so we got that right. My bottle, there was only backwash left, and it was like the bottom of the bottle. But he's just an amazing. I love that man. So anyway,
maybe that's what caused some of the bad acne issues that he had in the past.
It was it was not. I think that was from a few years ago. But please don't blame that on me. That makes me feel kind of guilty. Anyway.
I was going to ask you, have you ever met Seal? He had the same kind of problem. Or was that something that happened after?
Spud, have you ever interviewed Seal, Spud?
No.
Not since I've been on the show.
Losing you right now? I did not hear the question.
Yeah, you faded out for a second there. No, I was going to say that maybe he had the same issue that Seal had, the singer. Remember?
Oh no, I heard that. What was the follow up?
Oh, Angel was asking if you had ever interviewed Seal.
Not.
No. Yeah, I don't think he has, Gerald. I don't think he has.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, his connection is a little off there. Well, we're almost out of time here on the show. Spud, the website, and let's go over the website info, because I want everybody to make sure they check out the podcast and the archive, because it's a long list of great episodes you've done, and you're like what, on 152 now or something like that for the podcast?
252.
252? Okay, 252. Tell the audience, where they can catch the shows and download the podcast.
It's pretty simple. Just go to spudgoodman.com. That's it.
Yeah. Just like me, angelespino.com. See,
Yeah.
the great minds make it easy.
Yeah, that was set up for me because I have a little bit of ADHD, so let's just make it simple. That's it.
There you go. And maybe next time we have you on, which hopefully will be soon, we could name Gerald here full-time, temporary, full-time, maybe
Yes.
a full-time host, co-host.
Yes.
What do you think?
Angel,
Maybe? No?
yes, that is a great idea, and that's a goal. Let's make that our goal, Spud.
But with no financial agreements attached.
Well, yeah, okay. I mean, to start with, yeah, okay.
Well,
That's
this has
fair.
been a pleasure. I want to say this has been a pleasure to come on your show. Gerald, do you have anything to say?
No, Angel, it was wonderful being on your show. Thank you for having the Spud Goodman Show cast on your show. I loved being part of it, and I know this is Spud's up very late for him right now, so I appreciate him.
I'm getting a little
sticking
cranky.
through the whole hour. Yeah, he gets a little cranky.
I'm sundowning right this moment.
Luckily for him, he has a lot of Pepto-Bismol left, I'm sure.
Yeah,
That's right.
that'll keep him awake.
No, you guys are awesome. Thank you for being here with me tonight, and look forward to have you guys back on the show. And again, please give all my love to Aunt Dorothy.
We will do so. You just take care. Ciao.
There you go, folks. That is the great Spud Goodman and the awesome Gerald, the sometime part-time, maybe co-host, and maybe one day full-time co-host of the Spud Goodman Show. So till next time, folks, this is Inside the Jackal's Head, and we will catch you on Sunday with more show. On the flip side, take care, everybody.